Hey guys, so this is the NF ACOUS RA15. Now NF ACOUS was formerly known as NF Audio, which is a professional Chinese audio brand. Now what I have with me here today is a pair of dynamic driver IEM monitors. Now these are tiny, but the sound is massive. So let's talk about that. First things first, we get the unboxing out of the way. So as you can see, it comes in a rather slick packaging, nothing too fancy, although I'm a big fan of the orange and black combination here. Sliding off the outer cover, we get the box inside. And as with all NF ACOUS or NF Audio products, their presentation is top-notch. So we get some paperwork, 4 pairs of high-quality silicone ear tips of various sizes, 2 pairs of replaceable tuning nozzles or sound tubes, and one of them come attached with the IEM monitors themselves. The high-quality oxygen-free copper silver-plated cable that has 2 pin connectors on one end, and on the other end you have a 3.5mm audio jack. You also get a very soft branded storage bag to carry these IEM monitors in, and of course you get the NF ACOUS RA15 IEM monitors themselves. Now as for the specs, so these house a single dynamic driver in each of the IEM monitors, and it's got an impedance of 32 ohms. So again, these are low impedance IEM monitors, but as always, if you want the best audio quality possible, I always recommend that you do invest in a portable DAC. Nothing too fancy or expensive, just something that can power these and make sure that these perform to their full potential without leaving anything in the tank, and what you get is just the best audio quality possible. And as always, the one that I personally use will be linked in the description below. Now as for the build quality of the RA15, it's just top notch. It's so premium, and this is the same that I've noticed with all NF Audio or NF ACOUS products. They have zero compromise when it comes to build quality, and this is all metal, by the way. So it's got that heft of metal. It's got this matte finish, and it's not glossy, so that means there is zero fingerprints regardless of how you use these. But because it's all metal, it gives you that assurance that it's going to last for many years to come. Now because it's metal, you might be scared that it's going to be heavy on your ears, but trust me, it is one of the most comfortable pair of IEM monitors that I've used. So ergonomic, so easy on the ears, and even for long listening sessions, there was zero ear fatigue. But the only downside here is that these are super slippery. It's got such a nice polish on them. It feels really nice to the touch, but it's very slippery, and there have been a number of occasions when I've just dropped them from my hand. Now, as mentioned in the unboxing, that these come with 2 tuning nozzles, a silver one which comes attached and a golden one. Now, while both of these don't have a huge difference, but according to NF ACOUS, so they're supposed to give you a warm and a bright sound signature. Now, I found that the silver tuning nozzle which comes attached gives you a bright sound signature, so it's a bit sharp. I found that it might get a bit piercing at times, nothing unbearable, but compared to the golden tuning nozzle, it is a bit sharp. So I finally, after having used both of them, I settled on the golden or the brass tuning nozzle, and that gave me a more mellowed down, neutral version of the sound signature, and that was really good for me. So going forward, my review of the sound quality will be based on the golden tuning nozzle. Alright, now let's get into the main criteria, which is the audio quality. And you guys know, if you're an existing viewer, I judge these IEM monitors based on how they produce the 3 major frequencies that broadly make up any sound that you hear: the highs, the mids, and the lows. The highs are the treble response, where the really sharp sounding instruments are, the mids where the vocals are, and the low end or the bass response. Starting off with the highs or the treble response, the treble has very good detail retention, and it renders the subtle nuances with ease. Instruments like snares and cymbals sound detailed, rich, and well spaced out from one another without any sort of overlap. Now up to about 80% volume, or up to 85, there is no sibilance, so it doesn't get piercing or shouty or over sharpened, and it kind of hits a perfect balance between detail, richness, and very pleasant listening experience. But anything above that, and depending on the track, it might get a bit sharp, and that might not be for everyone. So the overall rendition of the treble or high frequencies was rich, bright, airy, and quite neutral. Next up, we have the mid frequencies, where the vocals are. Now the vocals sound clean and balanced, with a slight tendency on certain tracks to emphasize the upper mids. Stringed instruments like guitars sound very clean, with a touch of warmth, and are very neutral. And the spacing between instruments in the mid-frequency range is very well spaced out, so the soundstage is very impressive, and that overall adds to the grandeur of the track. Now, while the vocals don't sound tinny or hollow even at relatively high volumes, however, its emphasis on the upper mids, while acceptable, their decay is not smooth, and that is my big gripe with the vocals. But overall, the vocals sound detailed, rich, with a touch of warmth, and at moderate volumes, they're great for long listening sessions as well. And finally, we get to the low end or the bass response. Now, the low end on these are primarily mid-bass heavy, so you're going to get an impressive amount of the mid-bass slam. And this bass is very well textured and very well spaced out from the mids and the highs. Now, these are also going to give you hints of the sub-low rumble, although that is track dependent and this is primarily mid-bass heavy, but sometimes every now and then it's going to give you hints of the sub-lows, and that is always welcome. It just adds a new layer of depth and immersiveness in the track. And again, this is not going to happen all the time, but when it does happen, it sounds really, really good. Now, in general, I found that the bass on these are very well balanced. It just adds the right amount of heft in the track to make it sound more immersive and add depth. And while the bass is not exaggerated like a bass head would want, this gives you a lot of quality bass, the perfect blend which doesn't interfere with the highs and the mids, and it's perfect for listeners who want a more neutral balanced sound with just the right amount of hefty bass. Now, the soundstage on the RA15 is very wide, giving you a very clear picture of the location and spacing between the instruments, which sounds very good, and it makes the whole track sound more expansive, and it's also going to be very suitable for gamers thanks to its wide soundstage. Now, in summary, the RA15 from NF ACOUS has definitely impressed me. While packing just a single dynamic driver, looking tiny, very unassuming, it has a very impressive sound quality. It sounds larger than it looks, it's super comfortable, super premium. It's very impressive what they've done with the RA15. And because it's from their music series, so it suits a wide genre of music, so you can throw any genre of music that you listen to and these are going to perform just fine. So definitely and highly recommended. Do try these out. Well suited for beginners as well as seasoned audiophiles, so you can't go wrong, but just make sure to pair it with a portable DAC to make it sound as good as they possibly can. So there you have it, guys. That was my in-depth review of the NF ACOUS RA15. If you have any other questions regarding this, do hit me up in the comment section below. As always, the link to this and many other audio products and IEMs will be in the description below. I would really appreciate if you use those links to make your purchase. As always, you have my word, it will never cost you anything extra, but you guys will be helping me run this channel and I can produce more such high quality and helpful content just for you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, share this video, and as always, I'll catch you guys very soon in the next one. Cheers.